Okay, so Netflix decided to give everyone a Valentine's Day gift with Players. This is the new film from Trish Sie, which was written by Whit Anderson. The film is produced by Ryan Christians, Ross M. Dynastine, Mark Platt, and Adam Siegel. It is executive produced by Molly Brishkin, Ross Girand, Sophia Lynn, and Gina Rodriguez. Jeff Cardoni handled the music, Matthew Clark cinematography, while Catherine Himoff edits the piece. Ramani Lee and Lindsay Weissmuller were on casting duties. Dina Goldman, production design. Jordan Jacobs, art direction. Chris Hyonis, set decoration. And Karen Malecki, costume design. Hair and makeup, we've got Charles Zambrono, Weldon Steinach, Claire Mahoney, Julia Lalas, Ryan Jackson, Carissa Ferrari, Gloria Espinoza, Michelle Renee Elam, Dana Diamano, and Adriana Andalus. Right? So that means people, our cast. Oh, let me just. Our cast is Mack is played by Gina Rodriguez. Her best friend Adam is played by Damon Wayans Jr. We then have got Brannigan, played by Augustus Prew. His younger brother, Little Ryan, right, is played by Joel Courtney. Then there's Ashley, played by Liza Koshy. We got Nick, played by Tom Ellis. There's Claire, played by Ego Nowadim. Karen Kirk, right? Adam and Max boss. She's played by Marion Hinkle. Brady Stratton is played by Brooke O'Coombe. Mary, the bookstore owner, is played by Sarah Daisy Charles. Carl is played by Jerry Kernian. Martini Blonde, played by Claudia Marie Malia. Karen Kirk's husband is played by Dan Caudle. That's the main crew. Yeah, that's the main group of people. Now, the gist of the story is this: New York sports writer Mack has spent years devising successful hookup plays with best friend Adam and their crew. While it has led to countless one night stands over the years, following their playbook comes with a strict set of ground rules. Chief among them, you can't build a relationship from a play. When Mac unexpectedly falls for her latest target, charming war correspondent Nick, she begins to rethink the game entirely as the lines between work, fun, friendship, and romance begin to blur. Mac must learn what it takes to go from simply scoring to playing for keeps. Blah. I mean, yo, right? Now, people may think to themselves, why did you look at this? Why? Obviously, you're going to hate it. Why did you check it out? And I'll tell you, it's simple, people, right? It's simple because Gina Rodriguez has been in 3 films that I really like. Now, my favorite of her work has to be Kajillionaire, right? Covered it during the 2020 London Film Festival. It's great. I really enjoy that film. Then there's Awake, right? That Netflix film, which I thought was really good. And Annihilation, the other Netflix joint, right? Damon Wayans Jr. Now, he's been in well, the thing I probably Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. That was just so fucking funny. Oh my god. Was not expecting that to be that great, right? But that was fantastic. So it was in that, and Long Weekend. That was very nice, actually. But his best film has to be The Harder They Fall, right? So if you just go, no, that person, I hate their stuff, I'm never watching, you would miss out on those kind of gems. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So you give things a chance. You go in with the hope that they're gonna be good. All right. But with this one, it starts off with, we're seeing loads of images and we're hearing them talking, right? They're devising a play. And it's just these weird plays that, they're like, oh, this always, like, there never seems to be really oh, this doesn't work, right? It's just with these people, even like, I mean, a couple of times when a play didn't quite go to plan, they still hook up with someone, right? And you were meant to believe that, oh yeah, they can never, do wrong. They will always get someone because they're that hot. And it's just like, oh, I mean, that's boring. That's boring as fuck and unrealistic. But it is it's a situation between Mac and Nick, right? Because all of a sudden it's just like, I really, their first time out, right? The first time they've met. And, you know, Mac's acting weird and it's like, oh, do you like him? She's like, and it's just like they've not had any sort of conversation. No conversation. But it's just like, oh, I really like this one. I think this one is the one. And it's just like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? It's just that ridiculousness that is very frustrating from a film like this. Right? Because it's playing like, oh, that's the big thing. Now, as the film goes on, right, you basically, where this is going from the start. Like from the very beginning, you know what's going to happen, where we're eventually going to end up. And when you look at that and this other thing that happens in the film, both of them are ridiculous situations that you just think, I mean, a conversation would have fixed all of this. And when she has this row with someone about something, firstly, it's just like someone can hate what you've written, even if it's supposedly a personal thing. Don't have to like it, right? Because people have different styles. You can like the sentiment, you can like the idea, even the story, but the way you've constructed it doesn't have to work for everyone. And that doesn't mean you're not matched, right? But again, it's just this weird thing of no conversations. And you're with someone, right? You've professed your love to that person. And one thing is it. One thing is the end. And you're just like, what the fuck are we doing here? These are meant to be grown ass people. right? They're meant to be grown. They're in their 30s. And you know what life is by 30. You might not necessarily have everything figured out, but you're not a fucking child, right? These are fucking kids. These are morons, essentially, that we're dealing with. So they're not having proper conversations, right? The whole like breakdown at the very end, and it's just like, oh well, they thought, and it's just like fucking talk. Like what do you, like when everyone's meant to be friends, but they've not talked? It shows they're not they're not friends. What are we doing here? You know, it's just and they bring in the Ashley character, right? But and again, there's no conversation there, right? But suddenly we get what we get. It's it's just frustrating, man. Like the acting is just like it's not necessarily terrible, right? But it's just not setting anything on fire. Now, I will say that comes more from the script than anything else, right? Because they're just doing what they've been told to do. You know what I mean? Like the dialogue is just dialogue ain't good. The scenarios are all played out. It just doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. However, right? This is the thing, people. If you're a big fan of stuff like Someone Great, right? Love Guaranteed. I think you will like this, right? I Want You Back. If you like those films, Players, you're going to enjoy Players. You know, that's the big thing here, right? It doesn't work for me, but it doesn't mean it won't work for you. You just have to kind of think, what is the kind of rom-com that I very much enjoy? And if Someone Great, Love Guaranteed, all of that, if that is your thing, then Netflix did you blessings for today, 2014th, right? They dropped you a Valentine's gift because you will love Players. So there, that's what you have to think to yourself, people. What do you enjoy? Right? What do you enjoy? How do you see romance? You know what I mean? Players, it's on Netflix.